As a zombie outbreak spreads across the world, my boyfriend insists on delaying our evacuation so his drama queen childhood sweetheart can catch the last rescue chopper. This is the final evacuation after the outbreak and our team's only chance to survive. When she still doesn't show up, I knock my boyfriend out and haul him onto the helicopter. In the end, his childhood sweetheart is devoured by the surging horde while I seize the opportunity to escape and start a quiet life with him in the safe zone. The night before I am to take command and lead a massive counterattack against the undead, my boyfriend laces my drink with a tranquilizer and dumps me into a swarm of zombies. Thousands tear me apart and I die in excruciating pain. He stands on the fortress wall, a cold smile on his lips. Had you not been so selfish, Esmeralda would have survived. Now you'll experience her suffering and atone with your life. Given a second chance at life, I wake up on the day my boyfriend refused to evacuate on time. Since he's so determined to stand by his childhood sweetheart through thick and thin, I'll make sure they both become zombie food. This is our last chance to evacuate. If we don't leave now, we'll all die here. Several team members yelled themselves hoarse, attempting to pull Noah Black away from the exit he was blocking with his body. Esmeralda isn't here yet. 5 more minutes won't kill us, Noah said coldly, refusing to budge. You'd risk every one of our lives just to wait for her? Don't be so selfish, Noah. The team was frantic. Right then, someone snapped and lunged forward to drag him aside. The next second, Noah raised his gun and fired. The bullet zipped over everyone's heads, drawing a collective gasp. Have you lost your bloody mind? Someone shouted. Instead of backing down, Noah seethed. You're the ones who are despicable, shameless, and selfish. Esmeralda isn't here yet, so no one is getting on that plane. You'd abandon a teammate to save your own skins? Do you think you deserve to live after hearing that? The deputy leader shot me a troubled look. Skyla, the military plane is about to close its hatch. If we keep stalling, we might not make it. I plastered a smile on my face and motioned for everyone to calm down. Then I walked over to Noah and rested my hand on his shoulder. Noah's right. Our team has always upheld the principle of leaving no one behind. Esmeralda might not have arrived at the meeting spot on time, but we can't possibly leave her behind. As soon as my words fell, everyone's jaw dropped, unable to believe those words had come from me. Ms. Steele, are you serious? You can't take Noah's side just because he's your boyfriend. Noah raised his hand and fired another bullet into the air. Skyla's made the call. We'll wait for Esmeralda and leave together. Why are you all still arguing? With both Justice and me in his corner, he all but glowed with pride. He leaned in, his shoulder brushing mine, and said softly, I knew you weren't like the others, Sky. You never turn your back on your own. I grinned and ruffled his hair. Esmeralda's my closest friend. How could I ever leave her behind? Little did he know, I didn't need to squeeze onto this helicopter at all. As a virologist, I could make a single call and the military would send a special ops team and a private jet for me. Besides Noah and Esmeralda, every member on my team was a leading name in the field. If I hadn't risked everything to take Noah with me in my previous life, I could have chosen a safer flight and left for the base with the rest of my team. This time around, I vowed to see him suffer the fiercest retribution for his selfish folly and to take with him into hell the childhood sweetheart he cherished, the very one who had, time and again, nearly doomed us all. Noah was even more pleased with himself when no one dared to argue back. Minutes ticked by as the dark horde closed in until Esmeralda finally came running, late and out of breath. I knew you'd wait for me, Noah, she panted, eyes bright with excitement. Considering her poor endurance, it was nothing short of a miracle that she had made it from the east side of the city to the helipad. At that exact moment, a deafening explosion thundered in the distance. The last line of defense had been breached by the horde. The rescue helicopter closed its hatch and lifted off with some evacuees. Those left behind erupted in rage. Noah Black, you're out of your fucking mind. You just cut off our only way out. And that jinx over there? Who the hell runs home the night before the evacuation just to get a guitar? Who are you planning to play it for, the Grim Reaper? Shouts and curses filled the helipad. The blood drained from Esmeralda's face. I am sorry. This guitar is my most treasured possession. I had no idea I would delay everyone's evacuation. Feeling everyone's hostile stares, she hastily hugged the instrument to her chest and ducked behind Noah. Even my teammates looked at me with resentment. You're the one who kept dragging us out of near death, Skyla. We chose you as our captain because we believed in you. How could you lose your head this time? I gave them an apologetic look and patted their shoulders. It's my fault. I shouldn't have let my feelings cloud my judgment. But it's no use arguing about it now. Let's stay calm. I know a shelter close by where we can take cover for now. Holding Esmeralda by the arm, Noah scoffed, "What a bunch of scaredy cats. We've still got Skyla, don't we? She's already led us safely through 3 waves. So what if we missed this flight? We'll just catch the next one." His words fanned the others' anger, yet the looming threat kept them from wasting breath on him. Half an hour later, we reached the temporary shelter. The heavy blast doors slid shut, cutting off the zombies' roars outside. At last, we were safe. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief and collapsed to the ground, exhausted. Just then, a teammate gasped. "Oh no. I just received word, that was the last helicopter for the day. The military is abandoning this entire zone." "Are you saying the military has ended the evacuation and we're stuck in this hellhole for good?" Everyone's faces went pale and their voices quivered. Noah, on the other hand, shrugged. "Relax. There's enough food here to last 3 months. Even if the military bails on us, we can still move out on our own later." I powered on the encrypted military comms and keyed in the password with ease. "Everyone stay calm. I've already contacted High Command. They'll dispatch a special unit to pick us up in 3 days. Until then, rest up." As my words sank in, relief washed over the group. Noah lit up with joy, clasping Esmeralda's hand. "Hear that, Esme? We'll be rescued in 3 days." As the two rejoiced, the rest of the team's expressions hardened. "Skyla," the deputy whispered, pulling me aside. "Did you secure enough seats? Counting those 2, there are 8 of us." I nodded lightly. "Right? But I only applied for 7 spots," he said, puzzled. Then realization dawned. "Doesn't that mean one of us won't be able to get on the helicopter?" I glanced at Noah, who was feeding Esmeralda water, and a cold smile tugged at my lips. "Don't worry. Your spots are guaranteed. As for the extra, we'll see who she chooses when the time comes." The deputy and I exchanged a knowing look while Noah, oblivious, gently wiped the sweat from Esmeralda's forehead. "Don't worry, Esme. I'll make sure you reach the safe zone unharmed." As I watched him fuss over her, a quiet anticipation stirred in me. What would he do when the next rescue arrived? Would he keep his promise to Esmeralda? Or would the struggle to survive lay bare the darkest side of his nature? The promise of rescue and the stockpile of supplies quickly dulled everyone's fear. In the days that followed, Noah completely relaxed and indulged himself with Esmeralda, washing clothes with purified water, popping the emergency antibiotics like daily vitamins, and even stripping batteries from devices to power their music player. On the 3rd evening, barely half an hour before the rescue team arrived, Noah burst through the door, interrupting my meeting with the others. "Skyla. Quick, give me the serum," he demanded. I frowned and looked up. "What do you need the serum for? Did someone get infected?" Noah's response made everyone's jaw drop. "No, but Esme's running a high fever. I've given her fever medication, but it isn't doing a thing. Give me the serum so I can inject her right now." I slowly rose and asked coldly, "Do you understand what you're asking for? This serum is the result of 3 years of research. It can halt the zombie virus within 5 minutes of infection. It's still experimental, but it's humanity's last hope. And I only have 1 dose left." "I know that," he snapped, "but that serum kills all viruses, doesn't it? Esmeralda's in pain. Quit stalling and give it to me already." The conference room went dead silent. The deputy leader couldn't take it anymore. He slammed the table. "Are you out of your mind, Noah? She just has a fever. You'd waste humanity's last hope for that? How is it a waste?" Noah seethed. "Esme's always been frail. What if her condition worsens? Besides, isn't the serum meant to save lives?" When I didn't budge, his gaze hardened. He abruptly raised his gun and aimed at my forehead. "Hand it over. Don't make me shoot you." "Have you lost your shit, Noah? How could you?" One of my teammates yelled as he lunged forward. Yet Noah's gun went off, narrowly missing him. Gazing at the man I had once loved, the sheer absurdity of it all hit me hard. In my previous life, I had brushed shoulders with death countless times to protect him. Yet now he was ready to kill me for Esmeralda. Reluctantly, my teammates surrendered the last vial and watched helplessly as Noah injected it into Esmeralda. Within minutes, her fever broke. Noticing the color return to Esmeralda's face, she pushed herself up, eyes glistening as she looked at everyone. "I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I used such a precious serum. I'm so useless. Always dragging everyone down one by one." My teammates looked away, unwilling to watch her performance. "Don't say that, Esme. Nothing matters more than your life." Holding her hand, Noah had tears in his eyes. Esmeralda gazed at him affectionately. "You're so good to me, Noah. I promise I'll protect you with my life for as long as I live." The way the two of them clung to each other made my stomach turn. In my previous life, I had risked my life for Noah more times than I can count, only to have him brush it off. Yet Esmeralda's empty promise had moved him to tears. How pathetic. Before long, the heavy thrum of helicopter blades filled the air outside the shelter. Realizing the rescue team had arrived, we quickly packed our gear and moved out. Noah tugged Esmeralda toward the aircraft, brimming with excitement. But a soldier stepped in front of them. "Hold on. We need to confirm your identities." As the rest of the team filed onto the chopper, the smile on Noah's face ebbed away. The soldier scanned the list, his brows knitting. "I'm sorry," he said. "Your names aren't on the manifest." Noah's face went ghastly pale when he heard that. He whipped his head toward me, eyes wide with disbelief. What's going on, Skyla?" I stood at the helicopter door and met his gaze calmly. This rescue was approved for only 6 people. The military is only taking highly skilled personnel, me and my 5 teammates. I paused before adding, I'd only managed to secure that extra seat after pleading with the higher-ups. "It looks like one of you will have to stay behind tonight." My team struggled to keep straight faces inside the cabin. Surrounded by heavily armed soldiers, Noah didn't dare make a scene. He turned to the side, voice trembling. "Esme, I..." Before he could finish, Esmeralda hurried up to the soldiers. "Let me on. I used to be a famous musician. I'm much more useful than that man." The words hit Noah like a physical blow. He couldn't believe that the woman who had sworn to protect him with her life was now claiming she was more valuable than him. "Esme. Didn't you say?" His voice cracked as he stumbled toward her, eyes red and puffy. In the next instant she slapped him hard across the face. "What did I say? Do you even realize how dense you are, Noah? I told you I was fine, but you still used the serum on me. Besides, you can't even fend for yourself. If it weren't for Skyla, do you think you'd still be standing here?" Noah trembled with rage. How could you?" he ground out. She only heated up more, spit flying as she continued, "Officer, leave this dead weight for the zombies and give the seat to me. I'm healthy and strong. I'll be useful." Something inside Noah snapped. He let out an animalistic scream and lunged at her. "Esmeralda Green. How could you do this to me, you?" Only minutes earlier they'd been all over each other, now they were at each other's throats. "You wretched woman. I gave you everything, and this is how you treat me?" Noah fumed, throwing punch after punch to vent his rage. "Help me!" Esmeralda shrieked, shielding her head. "Stop it, you lunatic!" By the time the soldiers pulled them apart, Esmeralda's face was bruised and swollen. My teammates burst into laughter and clapped. This is the first time I've seen lovebirds turn into enemies this fast. What a sight! They were sweet as honey a moment ago, and now look at them. One of them guffawed, "Say, do you think Noah can only win against a woman?" Another mimicked Noah's earlier grand promise in a sing-song voice, "Esmeralda, I'll make sure you reach the safe zone in one piece." When the spectacle had run its course, I walked up to the lead soldier with a theatrical sigh. "Having one more person on board won't hurt, officer. Why don't you make an exception and let them both on? I'll explain the situation to the higher-ups." As the helicopter lifted off slowly, Noah huddled in a corner of the cabin as if his soul had been ripped out, his eyes were puffy from crying. To my surprise, Esmeralda still had the gall to inch closer to him. Lowering her voice to a whisper, she said cautiously, Noah. I can explain. Earlier, Before she could finish, he raised his hand and slapped her. What's there to explain? You said all those things. Now you want to act like it never happened? Esmeralda, you. It's not what you think. Esmeralda deliberately glanced in my direction. I did it to expose Skyla. He froze with his hands still in the air. What do you mean? Noah. Isn't it obvious? I was acting the whole time. Skyla was trying to drive a wedge between us with that nasty trick. I had no choice but to play along. Everyone cracked up at her outrageous excuse. She still had the nerve to dress up her selfishness. To my disbelief, Noah wavered and believed such a clumsy lie. He abruptly turned to me, eyes blazing. You're despicable, Skyla. No wonder there just happened to be one spot missing. It was you. It was all your plan to pit me against Esmeralda, wasn't it? The cabin erupted in an uproar. What, did a zombie take a bite out of your brain? How can you believe what Esmeralda just said? The deputy leader asked, staring at him in disbelief. Noah was deaf to reason. He cupped Esmeralda's swollen cheek gently, voice filled with guilt and heartache. Esmeralda, I'm sorry I doubted you. I should have known you'd never abandon me. We grew up together, and you've always been so good to me. Esmeralda seized the moment and dove into his arms. I'd never abandon you, silly. It broke my heart to see you so sad. Let's never be separated again, okay? Everyone was floored by their sickly sweet display. None of us had ever seen anything so absurd. Skyla, you shouldn't have let them on the helicopter, the deputy leader muttered, face twisted in disgust as he looked at the couple. Those two have caused us enough trouble. Wouldn't it be better to let the zombies have them? Besides, has Noah ever cared about how you feel? I let out a cold chuckle. Truth be told, I had intended for the two of them to turn on each other and become zombie fodder. But now, I realized my work wasn't finished. My eyes narrowed on Noah's back, a cold gleam sparked within me. I wanted him to watch as the childhood sweetheart he protected so fiercely gradually revealed her true colors. I wanted him to realize, in utter despair, how foolish he had been. After traveling for 2 long days and a night, we finally reached the safe zone. Everyone was running on fumes, barely having slept throughout the journey. As soon as we disembarked from the helicopter, I requested the best accommodations for my teammates. When it came to Noah and Esmeralda, however, I said casually, they're not important. Just give them a place to sleep. No need for special treatment. The words had barely left my mouth when Noah snapped, Skyla. Are you even listening to yourself? I'm your boyfriend, and you're fine with dumping me in the cheapest mixed dorm? I let out a short, derisive laugh. Didn't you say you'd never leave Esmeralda? Now you two can sleep together in the mixed dorms. How convenient. His cheeks flushed crimson. He glanced at the tents in the distance, where grimy, foul-smelling people milled about, and showers were nothing but open stalls. Don't do this to me, Sky. His tone softened. I just want to look out for Esme. It's not what you think. Then what is it? You wasted my last vial of serum. Now I have to go out again to gather ingredients, not knowing what danger I might face. How dare you call me your girlfriend? You've never once cared about me. Suppressing my anger, I motioned for the soldier to take him and Esmeralda away. Noah, I've already given you a chance to live. Cherish it. Don't push your luck. From this moment on, we're done. You're not my boyfriend anymore. You're on your own. Drawing that final line, I turned and followed the soldiers to the main conference room without looking back, leaving Noah standing frozen. He stammered a few times but didn't follow. Noah, we're lucky to even have a roof over our heads. Don't just stand there, let's get our rations before they run out, Esmeralda urged, but his thoughts were elsewhere. That evening, when he received only a piece of bread and a small bowl of oatmeal, he nearly lost it. Back when he was with me, I'd always made sure he had the best I could find, no matter how rough things were. If something fell short, I'd go without so he wouldn't have to. Now he was reduced to sleeping on the ground in a makeshift camp jammed with dozens of people, plagued by mosquitoes and snores. The contrast was suffocating. The next morning, mist blanketed the safe zone as my team and I checked our gear, preparing to head to an abandoned research facility several miles away. That was where we could find the final ingredient for the new antivirus serum. Just as we were about to set off, Noah appeared, dragging Esmeralda behind him. "Sky, let me come with you." He stood before me, nervously twisting the hem of his shirt. He looked haggard, dark circles under his eyes. I'm trained in first aid. If anyone gets hurt, I can help." Esmeralda piped up shakily, "I don't really have any skills, but I'm quick on my feet. I can help you carry things." "You? Seriously?" The deputy scoffed, pointing at her bloodshot eyes. "Don't make me laugh. You're nothing but dead weight, you only know how to scream for help." The rest of the team erupted in laughter. Noah's face turned chalk white, but he stubbornly stood his ground. "I know we've messed up, but please give us a chance to make it right. I promise we'll follow every order this time." Everyone knew they were only after the mission's rewards, desperate for a share of the spoils. I raised a hand to quiet the room. Then, lowering my voice, I said, "Let's bring them. If we run into danger, they can buy us time." The team exchanged uneasy looks, but eventually nodded. On the way there, Noah insisted on riding in the lead vehicle I was driving. He mostly kept quiet, though I could feel his gaze on me through the rearview mirror every now and then. "Do you want some water?" he suddenly asked halfway through the drive, offering me a canteen. I shook my head and kept my eyes on the road. Still, he pushed it into my hands. "Your lips are chapped, Sky. Please, just take a sip. It hurts to see you like this." The deputy sneered. "Oh, now you know how to care for someone? Funny, I never saw that before." Noah's hand froze midair, lips trembling. Back then, I didn't know better. I caused a lot of trouble for everyone. And I put Sky in a tough spot. It was my fault. I just want to make things right. As the convoy rattled along the desolate road, tears rolled silently down his cheeks. No one paid him any attention. The teammate in the passenger seat even turned up the music to drown him out. By dusk, we finally arrived. The gate of the abandoned research lab hung half open, its interior swallowed by darkness. After assigning tasks, we cautiously stepped inside. I put Esmeralda and Noah at the front. If zombies appeared, they'd make excellent shields. Fortunately, the area seemed safe. Not a single zombie in sight. Everything went smoother than expected. Within half an hour, we found the precious sample stored in a frosted cabinet. I sealed it in a special container and handed it to Esmeralda. "Don't drop it. This is worth more than your life." Esmeralda nodded nervously, her fingers trembling as they brushed the container. Her gaze kept flicking toward the alarm device in the corner of the lab. "Get ready to move out," I ordered, and the team started packing. But just as we turned to leave, a shrill alarm shattered the silence. A heavy metallic rumble filled the air as the gate groaned open, followed by frantic footsteps echoing down the hallway. "Damn it!" the deputy shouted, raising his gun. "Esmeralda, that traitor, she opened the quarantine gate." I spun around, but Esmeralda was already gone. "Wait for me, Esme," Noah shouted, sprinting forward, but all he could do was watch as Esmeralda scrambled up the emergency ladder. He reached desperately, his fingers clutching at air. Esmeralda looked down at us with a triumphant smile, clutching the precious sample tight to her chest. "Esme, lower the ladder. I haven't climbed up yet." Noah's voice trembled uncontrollably. Esmeralda chuckled coldly. "And why should I save you?" Patting the sealed container in her arms, she sneered, "With this, all the credit for the mission will be mine." The blood drained from Noah's face. "That's not what we agreed on. You said once we found the sample, we'd both." "You fool." Esmeralda cackled. "You actually believe that? I only stuck with you to get into Skyla's team and stay alive. Do you know how funny it was watching you fight with Skyla over me every time? Did you really think I liked you? You're nothing but a pathetic loser." With that, she yanked up the ladder and vanished into the ventilation shaft. A guttural growl echoed from the darkness, then another, and another. The zombies were closing in. I raised my gun and shot down the first two that lunged at us. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Noah frozen in terror, shaking like a leaf. When a zombie lunged at him, I thought he was done for. But he dropped into a side roll, grabbed a steel pipe, and swung hard, crushing its skull. He might have been the weakest of us, but even he was worth more than Esmeralda ever had been. I tuned him out and focused on the horde, taking down one after another with ruthless precision. Noah fought like a man possessed, weaving through the swarm with sharp, desperate movements. When the final zombie fell, the lab fell silent, except for our ragged breathing. We'd made it out alive only because we'd stocked up on ammunition and gear before leaving base. The deputy team leader stormed over and slapped Noah so hard his cheeks swelled instantly. "You bastard! Was this all part of your plan to get us killed? If I'd known, I'd have shot you before we even left." Noah didn't retaliate. He dropped to his knees, sobbing. "I'm sorry. I never meant for this to happen. I didn't want anyone to die." His voice cracked as he continued, It was Esmeralda's idea. She said if we took the sample and claimed all the credit, we'd get special treatment back at base. I just wanted. So you were willing to get us all killed for her? I demanded, my voice low with fury. No. Noah's head shot up. I never meant to hurt you. Esme said she only wanted to delay you, not unleash the zombies. I didn't know she'd leave me behind. He crawled toward me, clutching at my leg. Sky, I know I was wrong. I was stupid to trust her. Please, just forgive me once, please. I pulled my leg back sharply. Forgive you? You don't deserve forgiveness. On the way back, he trailed after us, pleading. Sky, after everything we've been through, give me one more chance. I swear I won't screw up again. Shut up. The deputy barked. You've got some nerve even saying that. Because of that woman, you made us miss the evacuation, wasted the serum, and almost got us all killed. Get the hell out before I put a bullet in your skull, you idiot. I yanked a dagger from my belt and threw it at Noah's feet. You're on your own now. From this moment, you're out of the team. And in case it's not clear, we broke up a long time ago. Don't you dare follow me again. Noah collapsed to his knees, gripping my leg. Sky, I know I was foolish. I made a mistake. His tears soaked into my pants. I swear I'll only listen to you from now on. Whatever you tell me to do, I'll do it. I pried his fingers away. Forget it. Do you really think I could ever trust you again? He shook his head frantically. Things are different now. I finally see Esmeralda for what she really is. I know now, you're the only one who ever truly cared about me. The deputy sneered. Oh, now you're sorry? Too late for that. Noah ignored him. He lifted his tear-streaked face toward me. Please. Give me one last chance. I didn't even look back. You've used up all your chances, I said and led the team onward. As we moved through the dark hallways of the research lab, Noah's broken sobs echoed behind us. Sky. Please. Don't leave me. I know I was wrong. The deputy spat on the floor. He's not sorry. He's just scared. I stayed silent at the front, gun raised, scanning the flickering corridors. The air reeked of blood and decay. We were nearly at the exit when a familiar wail pierced the darkness. Help. Please, help me. I turned toward the sound. Esmeralda was pinned against a wall by 3 zombies, their teeth tearing into her flesh. Her right arm was gone, blood spraying everywhere. When she saw us, her eyes filled with desperate hope. Skyla. Save me. She reached out with her remaining hand, leaving bloody streaks on the floor. I stopped and watched her struggle, her body shredded and torn open, intestines spilling out. Yet she still clung to life. The deputy gritted his teeth, raising his gun. I'll put her down right now. He was about to pull the trigger, but I stopped him with a raised hand. Don't. He glared at me in disbelief. Have you forgotten what she did to us? You still want to let her live? I smirked. If you shoot her, you'll only give her an easy death. Let her feel what it's like to be torn apart alive. That's the ending she deserves. The team roared their approval. Esmeralda, barely conscious, suddenly cackled. If you don't save me, I'll destroy this sample. You'll lose your precious serum. She clutched the container to her chest, her eyes filled with hatred. I chuckled and pulled an identical tube from my pocket. You mean this one? Her eyes widened in shock. That's impossible. Then what I'm holding is fake. I twirled the tube in my fingers. Why would I give something so important to someone as unreliable as you? I never trusted you. Her eyes bulged in disbelief. Then why? Because the decoy you're holding contains a signal beacon. It led the zombies straight to you. Before she could respond, the horde engulfed her. Her screams filled the corridor, mingling with the wet sounds of tearing flesh, until there was nothing left but silence. We bolted out of the laboratory, only to freeze. Beyond the gates stretched a sea of zombies, easily more than 100 strong. Reaching our vehicles would be impossible unless... I'll lure them away, I said, shoving the real sample into the deputy's hands. Get this back to base no matter what. He grabbed my arm, eyes wide with panic. You can't. You're the virologist, they need you to make the serum. If someone has to die, let it be me. Before I could reply, Noah appeared, panting, eyes filled with grim determination. I'll go. He looked at me, remorse shining through his tears. I was a fool. I hurt you over and over for that worthless woman. Before anyone could stop him, he drew his dagger and slashed his wrist deep. The scent of blood immediately caught the horde's attention. Noah ran toward them, shouting to draw them away. Sky! Live on! He screamed as the sea of undead swallowed him whole. We took our chance, sprinting for the vehicles and breaking through the siege. His final cry echoed in my mind long after we escaped. I'm so sorry, Sky. Live on.